Hello, Libra. Hello, Libra. This is Adrian. I go Capricorntigress with Astrology, a look inside, coming to you with your October reading for the month. Your reading for the month of October 2018, and this is your month. This is your month, Libra. It's all about you, actually. You know, up until the 23rd of the month, it's all about you, most of the month of October. And I just want to wish all of you a happy Halloween. It's also Halloween season. So we're going to go ahead and get right into this. When everything starts out, the month is, you know, the sun is in Libra. The sun's in Libra. We've got Mercury in Libra. And the thing is, over the course of the month, though, Venus is going to retrograde back out of Scorpio into Libra. So it's really all about Libra this month. You're sharing the spotlight with Scorpio over the month of October. And, you know, with all that spotlight in your first house, not only is, you know, Libra rules partnerships all the time in relationships, but the first house rules yourself. And I can just see that, you know, Libra's just standing up and just demanding equality or feeling a sense of equality in their relationships right now. The seventh house is really pretty much unaspected over the month, so you guys truly have full reign over most of October, and you'll be thinking about yourself and maybe even thinking about how you can make yourself look more attractive or beautiful to yourself or to your partner or the opposite sex. And it's just that time of the year for you, because once Venus retrogrades out of Scorpio and goes back into your first house, your solar first house, I think you Libras are just going to exude just this essence of beauty, because I think Libra in general is beautiful. Most Libras are. I really struggle to think of a truly ugly Libra. Even the most funny looking Libras I ever met were attractive. And so I think you're just going to exude whatever that is over the course of October, and you're going to be able to speak well, and people are going to want to hear you and listen to you. And I think you're just going to shine overall over the month of October. Now, there are some things I want you to be concerned about, because, you know, all year, pretty much, you've been dealing with some issues with that Pluto in Capricorn, which is down in your solar fourth house. And, you know, in the month of October, we're still going to be dealing with those Capricorn planets, because Saturn's in Capricorn and Pluto's in Capricorn in the fourth house of family and home life and comfort, and just where you can be in your emotions and feel like you can be nurtured and feel nurtured and secure and comfortable in life. And so with Pluto there, you might have felt like some upheaval there, and Saturn's there. I hope you've not experienced any situation where, you know, your home life has been disrupted in some way, or might just be changing, because you're changing. And, you know, with Saturn in the fourth house, it just indicates that, you know, you're dealing with some issues, like maybe, you know, home life issues and things like that. But I always say when Saturn's in the fourth house, it's preparing itself for the rise, you know, to get back up under and over, going into that third or that second quadrant, because that first quadrant is all down low, very introspective, and Saturn's been traversing down there for a while for you Libras. But things are going to start perking up, I would say, over the next year or so. And right now you have Mars in the fifth house, so that's in Libra, or excuse me, in Aquarius. Excuse me, my throat is very dry. But yeah, Mars is in the fifth house in Aquarius, and Aquarius is trine Libra. So that's, you know, that's action in fun. You're going to have activity and fun. I think with that Venus going into your first house and that Mars in the fifth house, there's fun times for some Libras right now, especially when it comes to like love and romance and parties and going out and gambling and taking chances, and even finding joy in your children. You know, just looking at your children, sometimes you might find joy in it, but you might want to make sure you don't want to hurt one of them, because with Mars, I can see you wanting to smack one of them over the month. Lilith is also going to be in that area of the 5th house. So, you know, it just could be an area that is a little bit dark and heavy, and it could, you know, just watch what anger, I think, with children. When you get angry at your kids over the month, it's not good, you know. But have fun partying and enjoy. If there is no party, you make the party. Since you know now that Mars is in the 5th house of parties, there's no party on the horizon, you make the party. Probably your birthday party, right? But also, the North Node is up over on the other side of the chart in Leo. And it's all by itself over there in the 11th house of hopes and dreams and wishes and friends and associates and parties, friends. I hope you have a beautiful birthday party in the month of October, Libras. I could see that really happening for you guys. Now, there's also Neptune that's in Pisces. Got Neptune retrograding in Pisces in your 6th house of work. Whenever Neptune is anywhere, it's confusion, but in the 6th house, it's work. So, and it could be your health. You might have some questions about your health, but you could have some problems with coworkers and things going on at your job that just seem confusing or misunderstanding to you. You just don't quite understand what's going on there. And Chiron's there too, because Chiron's retrograded into Pisces, and now that's in your 6th house. And Chiron is always a wound of some kind. It indicates where there's some type of pain or wound or something that needs to be healed, you know. And the 6th house is the natural house of healing. So if there is a pain, if there is a problem, I'll just say this. I don't know why, because, you know, I'm one of those intuitive astrologers. But if there is a problem with a coworker, or you've had issues with coworkers at your place of business, use that Chiron to heal that. Use this time to heal the pain and soothe that pain, because it's there, and you know, and that could be something that crops up. But don't let it fester. You know, fix it, work on it. Don't let it fester. That's really important, because you know, you don't want to make new bad karma, focusing on old wounds that will never be healed, really. You can't take back the past, especially at work. And I'm going to tell you something. If things get too bad at your work, you might have to consider looking for another job, because it's that serious. So just keep a handle on that and make sure your work life is okay. Okay? Because Saturn is opposing the 10th house. Saturn's down in the 4th house. And Pluto, power, down in the 4th house, opposing the 10th house of career, of all things. So things could be a little weird when it comes to the work life. Uranus is in Taurus, which is your solar 8th house, so your money could be a little weird over the month. Just keep a handle on that. Just make sure you got everything in the bank that's supposed to be in the bank and all that type of thing. Okay, so this has been my general reading for, you know, what I do is I make a little chart. I made a little chart for you Libras, okay? And this is what my impression of what you'll be going through is. But I want to go over the astrological events for the month as well. And I've been doing this month because I just feel like I've missed a lot when I did my other readings, and I don't want to miss anything for you guys over the month of October. It's your month. I have been saying in the beginning of the month, on the 1st of the month, you know, the moon is in Gemini, which is trine Libra. Let me get that back because I want to make sure I see what's going on inside of here when I talk about it. Okay, yeah. So it's trine Libra, and that's your 1st house. So the sun's going to be in the 1st house, but the moon is going to move into Cancer. And that's, you know, your career house again. There you go. That's it's almost like your personality is going to affect your career in some way. And, you know, the thing is that is usually some kind of stress from the personality to the career, because that's a square. So be aware of that. That's the 2nd of the month, very early on in October. It could just be you go to work one day and they didn't threw a party for you and you're not ready and your hair is wet and you're upset and you didn't shave that day. They're all snapping pictures. You're so upset. It's a minor stress, but their intentions were good. Something like that. On October 3rd, Mercury squares Pluto, and Pluto's obsessive, and Mercury has always got something to say. And the Mercury is going to be in Libra, and Pluto's in Capricorn, and that Capricorn's down in your 4th house, and that Mercury's going to be in your 1st house. I could see you having some type of argumentative situation with in a home life, scenario. So maybe with children or partner, someone you live with. You can just watch out for that day. It's silly to have arguments over something dumb. It just indicates someone wants to be right. You're probably right, but you might have to concede that day just to keep the balance, Libra. Just to keep the balance. On October 3rd, on October 5th, Venus retrogrades, and it's retrograding in Scorpio at 10 degrees. And that Scorpio is your solar 2nd house of money. It's weird because this entire Venus retrograde thing always indicates like it's not good for relationships. It's not good to get married. You don't get into a new relationship. But in your case, since it's falling in your 2nd house of money, I'm going to say don't do anything that could possibly affect your money, your pocketbook, your possessions, what you have, what you own, what is yours. You don't want to go backwards. You worked hard to get what you got. You're not giving your stuff away unless you need to give your stuff away. But, be aware of what you got and be aware that something might occur where you might have to protect what you have. So, when Venus retrogrades, it's always the stuff we have, and, hopefully it's nothing bad happens. Be aware of that. Something could happen with what you possess, what you own, what is yours. And I also think when Venus is retrograde, it's almost like withholding love somewhere. And that's the house of what you have to give. And I would be careful of withholding love, because that's what you have to give. You have so much love to give. You have a lot of love to give. You got Jupiter in Scorpio this year. The sun's going to be moving into Scorpio at the end of the month. And Mercury's moving into Scorpio over the month. You've got a lot to give. You do. No matter how bad things get when Venus retrogrades. Remember that. Okay? Okay. Now, on October 7th, the sun is going to be in conjunct the North Node, and that is going to be happening between Saturn and the North Node. And Saturn's at 3 degrees of Capricorn. The North Node is at 3 degrees of Leo. And Leo is sextile, you guys. And it's going to be up near that North Node up in Leo. That's up in the House of Friends. The solar house of Friends. And Capricorn is down in that 4th house again. So, I don't know what's going on with your 4th house and your home. Something's going on with your home. I hope it's not a scenario where you might need to lean on your friends for a home. That would be horrible. That on the 8th, the new moon is in Libra. And that new moon is going to fall right smack in your 1st house at 15 degrees 48 Libra. And it is going to just give you 2 weeks to work on yourself, work on your relationships, find balance in your life, find your center again. Just feel like you're back to you. Like, finally you'll feel like yourself again. And, like I said, the emphasis is on you this month. This is all about you, Libra. All about you. So work on yourself, your physical self, your, spiritual self, all of that. It's all about you. October 9th, Mercury enters Scorpio, and that's more emphasis in that 2nd house again. That is Mercury and having conversations about money. You'll be talking about money all for most of October. It's all about the money. You getting the money. October 12th, Sun in Libra squares Pluto in Capricorn. Now that Sun in Libra is your first house, and that Capricorn again is the fourth house. There we go again. There is something going on between you and somebody at your house. I don't know what in the world is happening, who you're arguing with at the family homestead, but something like that could be occurring. Somehow there's some kind of square there. I don't know what kind of friction you're experiencing, but that sounds like friction of some kind to me. Yeah. So, yeah. Mercury enters Scorpio. We talked about that. That's 3 weeks you're going to have to deal with that. And then on the 10th, Mars is square Venus. And Mars is in the 5th house. And Venus is really kind of, you know, it's going from your 2nd house to your 1st house. So, you know, Mars square Venus, it's square. It's actually in the 2nd house, but this is your 5th house and your 2nd house. That tells me it just don't take chances with your money. I wouldn't take chances with money. There could be some relationship issues. Could be, you know, an issue with your partner or whoever you're in a relationship or going on dates with, and something to do with the money. Spending too much money, not having enough money. How embarrassing, going out on a date, not having your wallet, something like that, you know. Just be careful of that. On the 12th of October, the Sun in Libra square Pluto in Capricorn. There are just more power struggles. That Sun in Libra, and that's the 1st house. That Pluto in Capricorn, 4th house again. And and of course that could mean some authority figures or just something to do with maybe something affecting your career even. Just be aware of that. Saturn and Pluto are opposing the 10th house of the career. So these squares from your Sun are affecting your career. And, you know, it could be an authority figure at your career, like your boss. It's seeing, like you're waking up or going to work late or, you know, something like that, leaving early. Something like that. Be aware of those kind of things. On the 15th, Mercury in Scorpio is conjunct Venus in Scorpio. That just means you'll be really looking deep into your finances, into your money. Looking at all that you have in the 2nd house, you know, like what you have to give and what you own in your home. A lot of emphasis on your home this month. Home life and, you know, just creature comforts, just thinking about it. And, you know, with Venus there and Mercury there, you'll just be trying to fix problems, maybe even trying to renovate your house or fix up your house or get some new furniture. I can see you trying to do stuff like that. On the 19th, Mercury trines Neptune, but it's square Mars. And so that just means with Mercury being like in your 2nd house of money and Neptune being in the 6th house of the work, you know, scoring that 5th house. I'm just wondering, like, you know, don't take a chance with money, like anything that would have to do with your health or your work or your sanity. Don't do anything that would affect your sanity. Like, don't go and like gamble away all your money. Don't like, oh, I'm gonna double down. Don't do something stupid with your money. Don't do that. You'll regret it. And things will get cross-wired that day. It's gonna be some kind of confusion. So, you know, just be aware of that. On the 23rd, the Sun is going into Scorpio. We've already had so much emphasis in Scorpio, but there's even more emphasis in Scorpio now that the Sun enters Scorpio. And, you know, that's a very secretive area in the chart. And it's your 2nd house of money. That's some secrets around money. I just hope there's no problems going on with your partner or anything that has to do with money, or you know, somebody might have messed up the money, and I hope that's not the case. Because Uranus is over in the 8th house, opposing the 2nd house. And that just means your partner might have done something crazy with the money. I just hope that whatever issue you guys have with possessions and what you own, that's all worked out and that there's no problem. Especially if you're, you know, coming out of a relationship. There could be issues with whose is whose stuff, and who goes with what and what goes with who, and you know, that type of thing. It is a very secretive time, and you could have really intense or deep emotions, you know, during this time, because Scorpio is deep, man. They love deep, they think deep, they're very intense. I mean, it's an intense time, and you're going to be thinking very intensely about your money. I keep thinking about that. I got my mind on my money and my money on my mind. That's what's happening in the second. That's what's happening right now, okay? You got mind on your money and your money on your mind. And if you didn't have your money on your mind on the 23rd, you're really going to have your money on your mind on the 24th, because then there's going to be a full moon in Taurus. And if I'm telling you, if you with somebody that took your money or did anything with your money, it is done when the full moon hits Taurus that day. Let's hope that this is going to be a windfall of some kind, or you're going to get something from that full moon versus having something taken from you, because no one likes anything taken from them. Maybe they'll pay you back whatever they owe you. Whatever was up, whatever was happening, maybe you'll get the money back that day. The full moon, you know, finally, you know, hit that crazy Uranus sitting up there in the 8th house, solar 8th house. You get some money that you didn't know. You know, that'll be nice. Don't forget though, that full moon is opposing all that Scorpio that we talked about. That's the Venus and Mercury and Sun and Jupiter, and all of that's going to have some type of really quick opposition, because the moon moves very quickly, and it's going to hit every single one of them over the next 24 hours or so. So be aware of that, okay, when that occurs on the 24th of October. On the 26th of October, the sun is going into, you know, the sun in Scorpio is going to conjunct Venus in Scorpio. And, you know, that's just more of that second house, more intensity there, more intensity in the money area. And you could be upset about a relationship where you make all the money and the other person ain't making no money, or you lost their job or whatever, and you're like supporting the family. I see where that's that first house, fourth house. You are holding up the family. You are the stability, and you know, it could be that your partner is not bringing in their fair share. And I could see this really coming to a head then, you know, because you want to be comfortable. You've got Venus in the second house right now, the sun in the second house right now, Jupiter in the second house right now. You're about being comfortable, and you don't really want anything or anyone to take that away from you or yours. Now on the 29th, sun in Scorpio is trine the moon in Cancer, and you know, the moon in Cancer is actually square Libra. But the sun in Scorpio is going to be your second house, and that Cancer is going to be up in the career. So this is the money and the career in some way having an interaction here. And I'm thinking, you know, let's hope that there's whatever is not working is fixed that day, so that there's no problems to your money house. Everybody needs money, and let's hope that that all works out for you guys. And on the 30th, Mercury enters Sagittarius. So that's Mercury is going to go into its own house in your chart. That's its natural house for you guys. It's the third house. Mercury is going into that solar third house, and so it'll be home. Have some great ideas, and you'll just be thinking bigger, thinking big thoughts, thinking positive things, talking with friends and family and around the neighborhood and people, you know, brothers, sisters, uncles, aunts, all that type of thing. Lots of communication will be indicated for the rest of the month, and you know, for most of November. On October 31st, Venus is going to leave Scorpio. It's retrograding into Libra. Venus enters Libra on the 31st, and love gets a little bit easier. And, you know, whatever relationship problems you might have had, hopefully you'll be able to work that out. Especially with Mars and Lilith sitting over there in the 5th house like that. And on the 31st, Venus opposes Uranus. There we go again. I knew that Venus was going to oppose Uranus. That's that Venus in the 8th house, or in the 2nd house, opposing that crazy Uranus in the 8th house. That is your comfort and creature comforts and all of that, security and whatnot, down in the 2nd house, being opposed to some, you know, hopefully something. Hopefully it's not a bad relationship, a guy who just is draining of your money. I hope that's not the case. Anyway, this has been my look at Libra for the month of October 2018. And this has been Adrian Igo, Capricorntigress with Astrology, a look inside. And I hope this resonated with somebody. You know, I'm an intuitive astrologer, so I just start saying stuff, whatever hits me, you know. I look at it and say what I think I see. Hopefully I saw something that could help somebody out there. Anyway, wishing everyone much love and much light and many blessings. And I hope you all stop by astrologyalookinside.com, subscribe so you can stay updated and in the know. And I wish all of you beautiful Libras a very happy and safe Halloween. Happy Halloween.